How about them Cowboys?
Angry Cowboys fan, born to battle. Star on our chest means we never sell. America's team through thick and thin. When the star shines bright, that's when we win. Angry Cowboys fan.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. And Cowboys Nation, the Dallas Cowboys have officially beat both teams that represented the AFC and the NFC in the Super Bowl last year. Back-to-back weeks, Cowboys Nation. Go ahead, throw them up in the record books because that has never happened in the NFL. So y'all know I had to see what the talking heads were going to be talking about when it came to our Dallas Cowboys. On the Black Friday episode of Get Up, Mike Greenberg, Bart Scott, Ryan Clark, and Dan Graziano discussed yesterday's victory over last year's AFC champions, Kansas City Chiefs, by our Dallas Cowboys. During the segment, they spoke about one of the major pieces to this Dallas Cowboys team and what piece has helped it for the better. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do after that. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to the first clip from Get Up.
I have to tip my cap to Jerry Jones. He should stick his chest out like a peacock because they have lived up to the expectations. He said he was going to fix the defense. We knew this offense was Super Bowl caliber. Dak Prescott is playing the best football of his career. And if they get in the tournament, they're the most dangerous out potentially in the game. And listen, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. We all thought that when Patrick Mahomes came down, like, oh, God, here they come. But Dak Prescott said, you know what? And Shotty said, I'm going to throw my way to victory. I'm not going to run the football, let them call their timeouts, punt, depend on my defense. I'm going to put the game in the hands of Dak Prescott. And on that drive, when they responded, it was all slants and throws by Dak Prescott, reading the defense and making the right plays.
You know, I will admit, Cowboys Nation, Bart Scott's actually right in this whole segment. We have to tip our hats. I'm going to do it right now, but we got to tip our hat to Jerry Jones because this front office has done this for the Dallas Cowboys team this year, and it's been something that we haven't seen in a long time. With the trading of Micah Parsons and the selective aggression from Jerry and Stephen Jones, this Dallas Cowboys defense is humming right now. But one mission was to get the guys that could help this team stop the run. And since the additions of Quinnen Williams, Logan Wilson, and DeMarvion Overshown coming back from injury, this Dallas Cowboys defense has been holding its own against the best that the league has got to offer. So let's go ahead and get into the second clip. In the second clip, Ryan Clark speaks about the true leader of this Dallas Cowboys team. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that so we can come back and talk about it. Roll the clip.
No coach has shown more leadership than Brian Schottenheimer. No coach has had to deal with your best player being shipped off to the Green Bay Packers. No coach has had to deal with what they dealt with, the tragedy with Marshawn Neely. Yeah. And no man has led in the manner that Brian Schottenheimer has led. And the one thing that he controls is how this team shows up to every game. Yeah. And then the thing that he controls in game is the X's and O's of the offense. And this offense has been Super Bowl caliber the entire year. The last 2 games, not only were they playing against the 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl, they were down to both of those teams in their own building. People says can't come back, a quarterback that can't compete, a quarterback that shrinks in the biggest moments. He's played at an MVP level, and Brian Schottenheimer deserves a ton of credit because people questioned his hire this offseason. And
Brian Schottenheimer does deserve a lot of credit for where the Dallas Cowboys see themselves right now. Honestly, I believe he should get Coach of the Year, and Dak Prescott may not get the MVP of the year, but he definitely should get Comeback Player of the Year. But I know that there's some people who don't like Ryan Clark, but what he's saying in this clip is absolutely correct. It's facts, Cowboys Nation. I know some fans get it twisted as if the quarterback is the leader of the entire team. That ain't the case, Cowboys Nation. The true person that leads this squad into battle each and every week, that's Brian Schottenheimer. Of course, you got the players that people appoint as being leaders on the team on the field. But when it comes to the leaders off the field, when it comes to the leaders of the team, it's not Dak Prescott. It's not Jerry or Stephen Jones. The leader of this Dallas Cowboys team is shoddy, and he continues to display that week in and week out. Now let's go ahead and get into this third clip so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut.
Everybody judges the coach on like game management and, fourth down decisions and all that. But what happens behind the scenes is so important. And I think it's such a great point about how he has led this team. Going back to the offseason, I mean, talking to players there, like what makes him good. They talk about how he got people together in the offseason, not just the players, but with their families. Yeah. And the players will say, like, he wanted to make sure that everybody knew why each other is doing this. Yeah. And so he's connected with them on a level that goes beyond what we see on Sunday. But I think obviously that manifests itself in the performance.
I know how some fans want to make the quarterback the most important cog in the machine because they're told to do so, Cowboys Nation. The 3 and 4 letter networks put all of the pressure on the quarterback's shoulders. The quarterback is the one that touches the ball every single time, so he must get all of the responsibility for the team. I'm here to let you know that that's not the case, Cowboys Nation. So, y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans, raw and uncut.
I'm keeping it real. They keep it real. That's real.
You know, Cowboys Nation, saying that the quarterback is the leader of the entire team's like saying that the store manager of a store is the most important thing, like he's more important than the district manager or even the owner of the establishment himself. Sure, your quarterback commands everything on the field, but not one quarterback in this league runs his own playbook. Not any quarterback in this league implements his own scheme into the offense. He's just as responsible for making sure that the machine runs fully capable. The head coach is the one who comes up with everything so that the team can go into a game prepared. And I remember when Brian Schottenheimer was hired as the Dallas Cowboys head coach, there were so many Dallas Cowboys fans who were pissed off at the fact that Jerry didn't do his due diligence, that Jerry didn't hire a name like Deion Sanders or Ben Johnson. A lot of Cowboys fans didn't have faith in Brian Schottenheimer's abilities because he'd never been a head coach in the league. I put out a number of videos asking Cowboys Nation to just give Brian Schottenheimer a chance, that there was something different about Brian Schottenheimer. The more press conferences that he had, the more fan interaction that he had, a lot of fans just started to warm up to him. Then when the season started, we saw how this offense could run under the play calling of Brian Schottenheimer, and we all got excited about it. Let's keep it a buck, Cowboys Nation. It was just the defense who couldn't get out of their own way. Now fast forward to after the loss to the Arizona Cardinals and the loss of Marshawn Kneeland. Brian Schottenheimer has brought this team together in ways Cowboys fans haven't seen in decades. As the leader of this team, Brian Schottenheimer has had to overcome a lot in order to get these group of guys to where they need to be right now. The loss of their number one defensive player days before the season started, no less, Cowboys Nation. The tragic loss of a teammate and a brother while also trying to keep the players' heads in the game mentally. Brian Schottenheimer has risen to the task, and he continues to rise to the task to this day. We sometimes get stuck with wanting a player, a quarterback, to be the force multiplier on the team. I don't know if we're aware of this, but a head coach can be a force multiplier as well, Cowboys Nation. That's exactly what Brian Schottenheimer is, and he has the ability to keep doing it. He has brought a togetherness to this organization as well as to the players on the field. He has brought a compassion to this team that allows for players to actually care about the guy that's next to him and want to compete at a high level for that man next to him. He has brought the locker room together during a time of loss, during a time of crisis. And as it stands right now, Brian Schottenheimer sits at the head of the table of this brotherhood, something that Jason Garrett nor Big Mike McCarthy could do. But during the game against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Dallas Cowboys showed everybody that was watching that primetime game that the bright lights don't scare them the way the 3 and 4 letter networks and the rival fan bases would have you believe. Yes, Cowboys Nation, a Thanksgiving game is the bright lights because over 50 million people tuned in to watch you do your job. It's not just a regular season game, even though it gets regular season stats. The only lights that are brighter than Thanksgiving are the playoffs and the Super Bowl. Shotty has his men ready to play and to not be intimidated by the names Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, or the Kansas City Chiefs. He had them ready offensively, and he had them pumped up defensively. Every player on the roster, and I believe a lot of people in Cowboys Nation, love Shotty. They've brought this philosophy and coaching style that they're willing to fight to the edge of the earth for. They're willing to fight for Brian Schottenheimer. This is what true leadership is all about, and we have a true leader in Brian Schottenheimer. But during an X space, I said that this game against the Kansas City Chiefs would be a legacy-defining moment for Dak Prescott and Brian Schottenheimer. Some Cowboys fans didn't believe what I had to say, but it's true, Cowboys Nation. It was yet another game where Brian Schottenheimer could solidify himself as a true leader of men, and it could also show the world that Dak Prescott could indeed lead his team to victory against formidable opponents, seeing that the narrative is that Dak Prescott shrivels up in big moments. Beating both teams that represented the AFC and the NFC last year, back-to-back games, that's a huge moment, Cowboys Nation. It also shows the world that no one wants to mess with the Dallas Cowboys if we make it to the playoffs. I said it on X and during my lives that if the Dallas Cowboys somehow make it to the playoffs, that we match up with any team in the NFL, and that we would be a scary outing. We would be a scary opponent to face in a win or go home type of scenario. So good job to Brian Schottenheimer leading these men through the thickest of the fogs. By no means are the Dallas Cowboys out of that fog yet. We still got 5 games to play. We still got 5 games to win, Cowboys Nation. So let's go ahead and take one game at a time. And let's go out there and play to the standard that we know we are capable of. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Cowboys Nation, what do you think about what the guys over on Get Up had to say? Has Brian Schottenheimer been the leader this Dallas Cowboys team has needed? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging this content and you want to help get it out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on this video, share the content with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and if you're on your mobile device, make sure you hype this video. Doing so can almost but guarantee that we get out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans so they can convert to Angry Cowboys fans and join the family and represent our Dallas Cowboys to the fullest. And if you are DC for life and you believe in Brian Schottenheimer and the process that he has established, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, film breakdowns, or Madden 26 or College Football 26 gameplay. And I know there's some fans in Cowboys Nation that are tuning in to the Chicago Bears versus the Philadelphia Eagles game. When I last saw the score, it was 10-3. Hopefully the Chicago Bears can put another L in the lose column for the Philadelphia Eagles so that they can lose a couple more games and they can be smack dab with the Dallas Cowboys. We got the tie over them, which means we would win the NFC East. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.